Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Vlogmas. Today we're going to do an updated full face of ILIA. If you watch my videos at all, you know that I love ILIA. I basically use at least one of their products every day. So I already did a full face of ILIA like months and months ago, and that was my first time ever really trying it. I think I only had like one product of theirs at the time, but after that video, that brand really became one of my favorites, maybe even my #1 favorite. But like I said, that was months ago, so I thought I would do a little updated version and I added to my collection. So I did purchase 3 more products from them to try today. So I thought we would just do another full face, try some new products, some first impressions. But then I've also been using all the other products for so long that I have like a really good idea of how they work and how they look. So I can give some insight into some of those other products and how those work. So let's go ahead and get into it. First product I picked up, I've been wanting this for a really long time. It's the True Skin Serum Foundation. I always wear their Super Serum Skin Tint. I have this in 2 different shades so that I can wear it throughout the year and it's always matching my skin. I've talked about this so much on the channel, so I won't go too far into depth about this, but it's just basically a skin tint. Has SPF 40. It does have niacinamide, squalene, and hyaluronic acid, so it's also very hydrating and has some skincare ingredients in there as well. So it's almost like skincare and makeup in one basically, but it's a very light tint, but it kind of evens out the skin tone, gives you like a good glowy natural base. And then you can always leave it at that for every day, or you can build coverage on top of it with like concealer. It's a very versatile product, but it's very beautiful on the skin, and I can just like always count on it to work. But this is the like full-on foundation then. It says it's lightweight, smoothing, soothing, niacinamide, allantoin? Not sure what that is, and aloe infused. A clean skincare powered foundation for skin that looks and feels alive, not covered up. The weightless serum formula melts in effortlessly for buildable medium coverage with a smooth skin-like finish. Niacinamide helps refine the look of skin tone and texture, while allantoin and aloe add soothing nourishment. Says shake well, use 1 pump for light coverage or 2 pumps for medium coverage. Apply like a serum or with our complexion brush, finishing by pressing into skin with your palms. Okay, packaging is always super cute, super sleek. I'm gonna shake it up. I got it in shade SF2 Tavarua. I don't know. I think it just said either fair light neutral or just light neutral, so I just used like the little guide online, because I'm pretty sure my Sephora still has just like an empty shelf where this used to be, and it no longer has it, so I had to grab it online. It says apply like a serum, so I'm going to just put it in my hands. I think I'm gonna do half my face. Ooh, it's liquidy. Half my face with my fingers. And I think I'm going to do a beauty blender for the other half. I feel like with something like this, I'd probably either use my fingers or a beauty blender for it, so I'll try both. Already super glowy. I don't even think that was like a full pump because it just was getting really liquidy, so I just like put it on real fast. I didn't really do much on my forehead, but so far that is the look. I feel like when I first put it on, I was like, oh, it's like not really doing anything. It looks like a tint, but now that I see the difference, it did give a good amount of coverage. You can definitely still see my little blemishes through there, but really just like blends into the skin. It does feel very much like a serum. It lays on the skin so nicely. So that was 1 layer, so definitely light coverage. My eyes all red because I just was itching it. I'm gonna do another little pump and apply another layer, see if it truly can build up to medium coverage. With how thin it is, I don't really feel like it's gonna be a full medium, but it is beautiful. Like, you can already tell that it's just gonna be a beautiful foundation. Okay, did we get medium? I mean, I would say maybe almost to medium, but when I think about medium, I think about my redness being a little bit more covered than that, and you can still see my little breakouts here. Obviously, I'm not looking for everything to be covered with medium coverage, but I do feel like this is still quite light, maybe like between light and medium, but still beautiful. Like, I would be totally comfortable with this amount of coverage every day. It's maybe just like a little step up from the skin tint. Oh yeah, they said to pat it in too when you're done. Very, very comfortable on the skin. Very beautiful. I already know I love it, honestly. It's maybe just like a step up in coverage from the skin tint, but really not much more. Like, I don't feel like this is a full foundation, like when you're thinking about like the classic foundation, but beautiful, right up my alley. I definitely was expecting it to be a little bit thicker and like feeling more like a foundation because it's named a foundation, but it's still pretty like tint-like. Honestly, the feeling of it, how liquidy it is, getting that glow but with some of your like blemishes and redness kind of showing through, so it's very natural finish. So I don't know if I would really like fully think of this as a foundation, but nonetheless it's beautiful. It is more liquidy. Look at that. More liquidy than the skin tint, I would say. I think just that kind of serum aspect to it. I'm gonna do a beauty blender on this side. Maybe we'll be able to get a little bit more coverage, but since it's so liquidy, we could also just end up sucking it all up into the beauty blender and still getting very light coverage. Definitely sucked quite a bit up, but I am having to grab a little bit more. I'm kind of gonna add another layer on top then with what I have left on my hand. See if we can get the medium coverage with the beauty blender. I do feel like I maybe got a little bit more coverage just because I was able to really like push it into the skin with the beauty blender rather than kind of dragging it with my hands. But this cheek is also less broken out than this cheek, but I do feel like it looks a little bit more medium. I can actually see that medium on this side. I just feel like it looks a little bit more flawless. It definitely works with both your hands and the beauty blender very beautifully. Using your hands is a little bit quicker, you get a little bit lighter of coverage, I would say. Beauty blender takes a little bit more time to like pat into the skin, but then I think you are getting kind of like the full pigment and the full effect of that potential like medium coverage. But this is really beautiful. I mean, this looks like skin, but just perfected and less red, covering up some like imperfections, some blemishes, but it is beautiful. I feel like it looks a lot like the skin tint though, like on your skin, so I don't really know the biggest difference between the two. It doesn't have any SPF in it like the tint does. It's maybe one notch less glowy than the tint, and then one notch more coverage than the tint. So they're definitely very similar. I don't think the foundation's like a full-fledged foundation compared to the tint. It's just like a little bit more coverage, if that makes sense. But beautiful, comfortable, light, like doesn't feel like anything's on my skin. obsessed. Okay, let's move on. This is the ILIA concealer. I've already had this for a while. This is an Arrowroot SC.5 is the shade. Again, they call this the True Skin Serum Concealer. So kind of the concealer version of the foundation we just tried. I have always loved this concealer. It's very light. Again, very watery. It's that serum feeling. It just adds a little bit of like brightness and a little extra coverage. Not much. It's not like this crazy coverage or anything, but a really pretty light concealer, especially just for like an everyday face. A lot of times I'll pat this in with my fingers. Today I'm just gonna use a beauty blender. Just added a little bit of brightness and a little bit of coverage, but again, a very light formula. Good for your skin ingredients. Definitely pairs very nicely with that foundation. Let's do another new to me product. This is the Color Haze Multi-Use Pigment. You can use it on your cheeks or your lips. ILIA has a lot of like multi-use products. It has jojoba and linseed oil. A clean cream-based formula that is unique for cheek and lip. Blend it out for a soft wash of color or build in intensity for bolder payoff. The soft whipped multi-use formula starts out as a satin and transforms to a comfortable modern matte. Jojoba and linseed oil condition and soften skin. Apply a small dot on cheek and blend with fingers or perfecting buff brush. For lips, apply lightly to center of pout and blend out. I got this one in before today. Again, a really cute package. It's just like a mauve pink situation. So what I usually use on my cheeks from ILIA are the multi-sticks. I love these. I use one almost every day. Specifically, I love the color Dreamer. It's like a very warm orangey red tone. So I figured it was time to try a new blush product from them. So I'm gonna apply, like they said, a little bit on the cheek. Oh, I think I got too much. I'm just gonna put it on the other cheek. It smells good. I think their products are usually like fragrance free. Has like a little bit of a scent, but it doesn't really smell like fakey heavy fragrance. Maybe it's just like a more natural fragrance. Blend it out like a dream. I mean, literally just tapped it and you gave you a nice wash. I'm gonna put a little bit on my finger and add another layer. It does say you can build it, so I'm just gonna it's definitely a little thicker than I kind of figured it was gonna be, just with how thin and syrupy their other products are. So it is like a nice like whipped kind of thickness. Some over the nose, I think that's cute lately. It's a really nice natural looking color. I mean, literally no complaints. It just blended out. It's a nice wash. It did build a little bit, I would say, but nothing too crazy. Still looks very natural. I'm gonna put a little bit on the lips just to see. I do like the little scent of it. Oh, I like this applicator for the lips. It's nice and cooling. I feel like it like looks like a lip product. Oh, it's really pretty on the lips. You can kind of feel the full satin feeling of it on your lips. Like the cheeks, you couldn't really feel that, but now that it's on my lips, it feels like a satin lipstick. but super smooth. The foundation's so glowy that I don't think that you're really gonna get like a matte with it, but it's just like a nice satiny finish. And I like it on the lips too. Another win. I'm gonna apply a little bit of bronzer. This is the Drawn In Nightlight Bronzing Powder. This one I've already have loved. It's a super neutral tone, so it's super wearable. It doesn't look orangey at all on you. Formula is really nice. It's nice and pigmented, but not like too pigmented. You don't have to like be super precise or anything with it. Just a beautiful bronzer, and again, one you just know is always gonna work. And I'm gonna powder a little bit. This is the Fade Into You Soft Focus Finishing Powder. I think the shade is called Fade Into You, I think. But this one is just a white powder. But this powder is talc free, so that's really nice. All their stuff is talc free. It's a very, very like finely milled powder. But it's beautiful. It's like a little bit blurring, I would say. I would say it brightens a little bit because it is that like white color, but it doesn't look white on you, and it still doesn't make like a white cast or anything. So I usually just go down like the center of my face basically with this. But it's a beautiful powder. Sets everything in, helps you to not crease, helps suck up your oils, and then makes your makeup last all day as well. And I feel like I just like knowing that it doesn't have like talc in it or anything. So many powders do on the market, and I guess it's just like nice to know that you just don't have to like worry about that at all, you know? Just gonna run a little brow gel through my brows. I've already hit this as well. This is the ILIA Essential Brow Natural Volumizing Brow Gel, and I had this in medium brown. I don't always go for this one. It works really well. I almost feel like if all of the bristles were just short, I would probably go for it more, because it has half the brush is like short little bristles, and then half are these longer bristles, so you're supposed to be able to like rotate it based on what you kind of want. So the taller ones, I feel like draw kind of little like hair brush strokes almost, but I usually only use the short side because I feel like that's where you get the most like thickness. So I kind of just wish that, like, it's cool that they kind of have the option, but I kind of just wish the whole thing was the little short bristles, so it'd be easier to just kind of like pull out and run through your brows and not have to think about it at all. But it's a good color, I would say. It's just a little bit like harder to use. I feel like I get it like on my skin a little easier too. Maybe it's just a little bit more liquidy of a product too, but it's still really nice. I will definitely use it up. It's just like, see on the top there, I got some. So I just feel like it's just like a little sloppier to use. But when you're done, you are left with nice thicker brows that are like fluffy. It's not like the highest hold. I feel like it does the job, but if you want that like really slicked up brow look, I feel like this is supposed to be a little bit more natural, so it's not quite like that. But I think pretty much the only product that I've been kind of like, I like, it's not terrible, but might not buy again, just because it's just not like the easiest to use. I just feel like other products are such like perfect everyday quick and easy staples that you just know are gonna work. So I just don't love the fact that this one is just a little bit more finicky, I guess. Okay, now for eyes. I'm really excited about this because I've always wanted one of their eyeshadow palettes. It's called the Necessary Eyeshadow Palette, talc free, and has vitamin E in it. I got it in cool nude. They have a warm one and they have a cool one. My like instinct is to do the warm one, but this one's very like purpley cool undertone. So I thought maybe I would try something different, and I thought it would maybe be pretty with my like hazel greenish eyes. Kind of complement that. This says a clean 6-pan talc-free eyeshadow palette with a buttery texture for a crease-proof and smooth application. These highly pigmented buildable powders are formulated with jojoba seed oil and vitamin E to soothe and hydrate the delicate eyelid. So again, that skincare in there. They always have a little bit of skincare in there, which is really cool to think about how it's makeup, but it's also hopefully benefiting you and your skin as well. Assortment of matte, satin, and metallic finishes blend easily and allows you to achieve any look with little fallout. Slimline compact opens to a large mirror for application on the go. Okay. Again, simple, pretty packaging. We believe in better, says on the top there. Those are the shadows, super pretty. I like how they didn't just go strictly for like purple. They have like this more maroon reddish tone down here as well. A nice mixture of some, looks like there's like 2 shimmers in here and the rest are matte, but a good mixture of like light and deeper tones as well. I do have the liquid powder chromatic eye tint in Mythic. I really love this. It's a liquid like metallic-y shadow, and you just apply it and then pat it out, and then it dries matte. So super pretty, lasts all day on you because it dries matte. It doesn't seem to crease or anything like that, and it's just a really, really pretty one and done shadow. So love that. But we're gonna try the powders today. First, I'm gonna go in with this light purple shade. It's called Just. Just gonna dip in a little blending brush and put that in my crease. It's a really pretty purpley matte shade. It's blending out super easily. It has that nice pigment. Yeah, that was super easy. I'm gonna take a more flat shader brush and take this deep maroon down here. It's called Unravel. I think I'm gonna put that on the lid. Again, a really pretty matte shade. It's blending out super easily. I'm just tapping it. I'm gonna go back with that blending brush and just blend out the edges. And the shadows are like morphing into each other so well, like blending into each other. Like that just blended out. Like that one has the line. This one just blended out into itself. I'm gonna do one more layer. Kind of build up the color a little bit. It almost feels like you could blend it too much and it would kind of disappear, but I'm liking that because then it's easy to blend and make sure you're not applying too much. So if you just like take it slow and blend it out, and then you can just continue to build. And I like that it's so easily blendable. Sometimes I'm left with like a line that I'm really unable to just like blend. No matter how much I go over it, this just blends out super easily. So pretty. I love those colors too, very wintry. Okay, I had to take a little pause because my camera was dying. So it's been about an hour and I feel like the foundation now is looking more like a foundation. Like it's looking so much more flawless. My skin looks very, very even. I don't know if it just had to kind of like settle a little bit on the skin, but it just looks like more coverage now and more like a foundation. Still looks so beautiful. It hasn't done anything funky, hasn't like settled weird or anything. But yeah, I just wanted to say it just is looking now a little bit more like an actual foundation. Back to the eyes. I think I might do both of the shimmer shades. I'm gonna do this bottom one. It's called Overcome. And put that on top of the dark shade we put on the lid. I'm gonna take that blending brush again, blend out the edges. I love the tone of this shade, the coolness of it. And they are so right about no fallout at all. Even with this shimmer shade, I have not gotten anything underneath. And then on top of that, I'm gonna do this lighter shimmer shade. It's called Undo. Pop that in the center of the lid. Last little blend. Really a pretty cool toned smoky eye. I'm gonna do a little bit of concealer just right here. That was my fault. I took it too far in. I am gonna pop this very light shade. It's called Infinity, and take a clean blending brush and just put that on the brow bone just to further blend out those deeper shades and to bring a little bit of like highlight almost to my brow bone. These shades just work so like well together. So pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes and do mascara, and then we'll see if we want to add anything to the bottom at all. This is the Fullest Volumizing Mascara. I believe they only have two mascaras, this volumizing one and then I believe like a lengthening one. This one I usually just say it's like the clean version of the Better Than Sex mascara because the wands are very, very similar. A nice large wand, and it gives you pretty much the same effect as well, just really thick lashes. I've heard the other mascara is really good as well. I just usually go for that more thick look, that nice thicker lash. Just gonna add a little bit more bronzer while we wait for my mascara to dry. I think I am gonna smoke up the bottom lash line a little bit. I just realized they're compacts. This is the bronzer and this is the eyeshadow palette. They're exactly the same little size. I'm gonna go under the eyes with the light purple shade, just. And I think that's it. I don't want to darken it up too much. I just kind of want to bring the shadow down a little bit. And last thing for lips, I still do have some of the remnants of this on my lips. I kind of do wish I had more of a cooler tone to put on my lips right now. But I do have the ILIA Balmy Gloss Tinted Lip Oil, and I have this in Tahiti. Probably not the most perfect color to go with the eyes, but I don't have another ILIA product. I do want to try their actual lipstick, and I'll just have to try that at a later date. So my lips probably aren't going to be the best choice color wise, but I do really love the formula of this. It's like a very light oil. Gives your lips a nice little color, nice and hydrating, not like a thick oil at all, not like a sticky gloss at all, just a super comfortable, soft, light oil. I feel like this is a little bit cooler toned. It's a little bit more purple, so maybe that helped. It's a little better, give a little purple tint to the lips. That is the finished makeup. Finished full face of ILIA. So another successful full face of ILIA. I'm not surprised that I also love these new to me products. The foundation is seriously so beautiful. I don't feel like it's for someone that's going to be wanting a ton of coverage, but for people like me that like a little bit lighter of coverage, likes my tints and my tinted moisturizers every day, It's beautiful. It's nice that it has that skincare aspect and ingredients in there as well. The new blush was super pretty, just a light wash of color. And I do like it on both the cheeks and the lips. And the eyeshadow palette, I feel like, was maybe my favorite of the new things this time. Just super easy to use, super blendable. Like, I love the colors. I'm glad that I went with the cool versus what I always usually do, which is warm. And I just love these purpley tones, and they literally just blend it out so easily. It'd be so easy for anyone to pop a couple colors on the lids and just make a really pretty simple eye look. So not surprised, but ILIA has done it again. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you if you've been eyeing up some ILIA products and kind of trying to decide if you should purchase them or not. I know they're a little bit more expensive, but I do feel like it's one of those brands that are worth it. Their ingredients are worth it to me. You always get quite a bit of product too, I feel like, so the product themselves lasts a really long time, and they're really just like staples and those kind of products that you can rely on and you know just like always will work, and you don't have to mess around with them or anything. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will link all the products down in the description box. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you tomorrow for another new video. Bye!